Okay, so we're going to go into Tinkercad to design a nameplate. So Tinkercad, right here, Tinkercad. When you first log in, they'll ask you for an email name. You'll put the email name in, and it'll throw you in, and you'll go into a tutorial like this. The first thing you want to do is you're logged in, you're in that first tutorial, is get out of the tutorial. Hit the Tinkercad, the little colored logo. Hit that button, and it should take you out of the tutorial into kind of your now you won't have any designs already, so you'll go into yours and you'll say create a new design. Once you get out to your kind of your own home screen, create a new design. The first thing it does is it creates a unique name for you every time, which is interesting, but yet I'm going to change that. So I'm going to change it to something like with my name in it, and then what I'm going to design. Okay, so we've named our file. We're in here. We're into the 3D design space. We have solids and we have holes. So let's grab a solid, a box, bring it out onto the space. Now, see this little button right here? We can spin this around and look at that space, which really helps us. And we can click on the bottom corner here and we see the dimensions. So let's assume that we're going to make a name tag that's 30 by 70. I'll make the 30 go this way. No, the 70 go that way. 30 by 70. 30 by 70, and let's make it 4 tall. I can either drag that down to 4, and the white box on top is the thickness, or I can directly just type the number in. There we go, 4 by 70. Now I can also hold the control key down. With the control key down, then I can move the mouse. It's the same as if I drove it this way. All right, so I can get a good look at it. So I have a solid there. Now I can take a solid, I can click on it, I can go up and I can duplicate it, which happens to be Control D. So if we hit that, see now we have 2 of them. Okay. So with 2 of them, what if I wanted to have a nice name tag? It has a little lip around the outside of it, and then it comes down, and we have our letters sitting on top. So if I want to kind of take part of it away on the inside but leave the lip, this is 30 by 70. What if I want that lip to be 2 millimeters around, all the way around the outside? So if it's 2 around, then let me take 4 off, because it's going to be 2 from each side. 26 by 66. That makes that a little bit smaller. Then we can spin this around and notice that they're both touching the ground, this work plane, right? So if I click on something and hit the letter D, it drops it to make sure it's all the way down the work plane. You see this little black triangle. If I pick that up, that's how much it goes in the air. It says 2, it went up by 2. If I spin this around, look at it, I can see, look, it's up in the air by 2 millimeters. Great, that's exactly what I wanted. I'm now going to make that see, I can select over here, I'm going to make it a hole. That's a hole, that's a solid. Now I want to line these up. I'm going to click on one, hold the shift down, click on the other one. I have them both. Now look up here in the top right, I have the group tool, the align tool, and the flip tool. I want to align, so I click on that. I want to align the centers in both directions. So you see I have the dots. If I want to align left side, center, right side, well, I want to align the centers. And going in that direction, I want the centers as well. And something didn't look right. There we go. So I have a solid and the hole, and let me make sure I have them both selected. Now what happens when we group them? Now you also can hit the letter F. F brings you in to the face of it. F focuses you in. All right, so you see how we have the little sides sticking up on the sides. That's pretty cool, right? Hey, that works in a lot of ways. Let's start over. Let me do another thing. Let me bring this out. Do that again. We can do that once. We can do it again faster, right? I can say, hey, that's 30 by 70 by 4. But what if we bring the cylinder out? That's a hole, and we drag this a little bit, and we now, you know how in some software packages you have a circle and you want to change its shape, but you can make an oval out of it really easy, you know, by squishing one side. What if we don't want to do that? We want it to stay a circle. Hold the shift down, and then I can bring that in. That's pretty nice. All right, let me take that and put that almost kind of right there on the edge. Down a little bit. There. Now, what if I want to kind of take off the corner with that? And I want to do that on all the corners. I'm going to duplicate that. And if I click on these two and align them on the right side, it's gray, so they're already aligned. That's good. So then I can take these two and duplicate them. And we'll come in here to the face again, duplicate those, and let me, don't want to do that. Grab this one and align that. No, let me back up again. I can play the game of having those aligned on the bottom. They're already aligned, so we're good there. And I can align those on the top. They're already aligned, so all that's good. So if I take these 4 holes and the solid in the middle, and I group all that together, what does that do? Oh, look at that. It takes the little corners out of the side. Now, that's a shape with some interesting pieces to it. Now I take that shape, which is still in the overall 30 by 70, and I duplicate that shape. Pick it up, 1, 2, 2, make it a hole, make it, still take my 2 away, 26 by 66. Align that with this one, align the centers here, and then group. And now, same as before, but I even have nice fancy edges that are curved at these sides. Isn't that kind of neat? All right. So what else can I add to this thing? Well, it's a name tag, so I probably want a name on it. Here's text. Here's the text tool. I'll bring the text tool out. If you're going to put text on a plastic, now think about it. We had this as 4 millimeters high, and then the plastic that remained is 2 high. Let me make the resultant text, and I can change it to, take the serifs off. Yeah, we can put name here, right? Name. Now we can take that and change the font a little bit. All right. Then we can, again, this is 10 high. I want to make it only 4 high, so it's the same, 5 high. Maybe it's close to the same as the edges. Bring it here. Now let's go back in and zoom back in on that. Spin that a little bit. I can take those letters and as a whole unit, kind of move them around. Now they go from the bottom all the way up. The letters are going all the way through the bottom plastic, and I actually want that. I want that to all kind of touch. And so then when I group that, maybe I want to shorten the name up. There's name. I want to group that with the bottom one and group that. And when they go together, boom, I have that. Now I might want to add another shape. Here's a star. The star's kind of big. I'll hold the shift down. Make it about the right size. I can spin around. How tall is it? It's 5. Okay. Maybe I want the star here. Maybe I can duplicate these. There, 3 stars. That's kind of fun. And then what else can I do out of basic shapes? Well, there's more basic shapes, but I can also go down to featured shape generators. What are in the featured shapes? Oh, look, I have states. Let me pull that state. That's a state of New York. Maybe I want to go for Indiana. If I wanted to do that, and look at that again. How tall is that? Let me make that something like that, and then I can bring that down. Maybe change its size just a little bit. There it is. I don't know why it's a little bit twisted, but it is. And maybe since this is going to be on a key ring or something like that, I might want to go back to a there's all kinds of other shapes you can look at while you're in there. Basic shapes. There we go. Back to our cylinder. Hold the shift down. Make that circle still a circle, but a little bit smaller. And then I put that circle. Maybe I want it even smaller yet. There in my tag, and I take that. I have everything selected. Now another way of selecting everything is just going from the outside and making sure you go across it all with a big box, and that everything's selected. Then I hit the group. It all should go to one color. That's one group. If I take and slide it, nothing gets stuck behind. That's pretty good. I take control and I make sure that everything is touching. It's smooth in the bottom. There's nothing sticking below the surface or anything like that. And I have name and all this other stuff I went in there. That's great. So it's done. Now I go up and I say export, and I choose this choice right here, STL. And when I do that, it downloads it to my downloads folder, and then I can take that, and the STL file is the one that will print directly on the printer, and I have created my name, and it'll be in my downloads folder under that name.stl. Very good.